Hey there, beautiful people. How we doing?
You have no idea.
Yeah. Wow. That's quite the ordeal, just getting set up. Tripod just broke.
Michael broke the tripod.
That's what I do.
Which means that the camera was all jacked up and we couldn't figure out how to get ourselves in the camera.
So if it falls down,
it was awful.
This, you can blame me.
But
Lord,
those of you that are listening to us don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
But those of you who are watching, we may fall at some point. It's just kind of teetering right now. So, anyways. Hello. Welcome back.
We're not sure what episode this is. This
No.
gotta be like,
It's been a month. The last one was March. So
this has got to be like 16, 17, something
no,
like that.
we are not that far.
No. There's never go with numbers.
No. Anyways, so yeah, we're back and we're happy and we're ready to talk more about some shiznits. I'm gonna go ahead and forewarn you now that this episode is going to be brutal. It's going to be, I'm probably gonna drop a lot of F-bombs. Maybe some, I'm just gonna be real. Just let you know that I'm not gonna control my language. I'm just gonna let it go. So just so you know. Because I want to be real. I want to be real. I want this to be like real talk. So I'm just going to talk to you like I'm talking to you, like I am right now with you.
Okay. Fair enough.
So yeah, if you don't know, obviously this is little of this, little of that podcast, and I am Colleen,
And I am Michael.
and we are a dynamic duo, married couple. I was trying to look for something really good.
That's all she's got.
And we like to just talk about real stuff. We don't like to sugarcoat it. We want to let everybody know that life isn't perfect and there's a lot of shit going on, and let's talk about it. Let's get out there. We just want to get rid of the facade of, like, oh, we're always happy and we have 3 beautiful children that we get along with and have a wonderful marriage.
The Facebook life.
Nothing ever happens that could ever ruin our happiness.
Mm-hmm. Facebook life, right?
Right.
Everybody's on Facebook with their pictures of vacations and
Not everybody, but there are
cars
some
and
people.
houses and
Yes.
all the stuff that looks great, but
Yeah.
nobody wants to really share the real shit.
Yeah, so we just try and be real. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
So we've done things about alcoholism, about eating disorders, about mental health, about oh god, so many things.
Yeah.
Spirituality and our being, like, there's just an array. That's why we call it a little bit of this, a little bit of that, because it's just a little of everything that encompasses. Yes. Damn it! Every episode as well, there's some
Nice to say a
word that I
big word.
cannot say.
Big words, big words.
At least I got it out of the way already.
There you go.
It's done. It's done. Okay, so
Only 2 lives left.
yeah, this episode is about. I really don't have a title for it, to be honest. I don't know. I just posted something on Facebook because I'm dealing with some shit, these like highs and lows, and it's been a couple of years, I think, maybe a year or so that I've been dealing with this, and I've been trying to figure it out, and I just wanted to come out and be like, maybe somebody else deals with this too, maybe they can help me, maybe I can help somebody else figure out this situation. But there's shit that I'm going through, and we're going to talk about it today.
Yeah.
The highs and lows.
I probably won't be doing much talking today. Maybe
You
asking
will.
some
Probably,
questions. That's about it.
Questions. You can also, give feedback about. Give your feedback.
Oh, yeah.
Give feedback. Wine country. Give some feedback about, like what you see when I'm in those lows.
Am I allowed to be honest with getting smacked?
Of course.
Yeah.
Because I know what it's like.
Mm-hmm.
So, to get started, about a year ago or so, I wasn't feeling right. And so I went and saw a doctor. I was like, something's not right, something's wrong. I don't know what's going on. I went and saw a doctor, and she was like, first of all, the fact that you don't poop every day is not normal. And I was like, what? She's like, you don't poop every day, like, because I don't have regular bowels. So, like I said, I'm going to be real, people. So, she was like, that's not normal. You need to start taking, take this. And this is all, like, holistic stuff. She's very helpful. I did a Thai yoga massage with her, and really helped. I thought it was really great.
This morning?
Yes.
Okay.
And did a lot of awesome, work with me, but I have not been back. I don't know why. It just, and she was like, here's some, vitamins and things that will be good for you and that will help you poop every day. and it worked. It helped. But because I'm me, I don't know, because it's life, because I think that happens with everybody, things don't stay consistent. And somebody is hacksawing or cutting some bushes outside, so sorry about that. But it's a beautiful spring day in Missouri. So didn't continue with that, but at least I had kind of an answer of like, you know, okay, I'm okay. I'm just, you know, I need to just take care of myself. I just need to take better care of myself. And then it happened kind of again. This time it was a little bit more chest and like didn't feel like I could breathe fully, and I was not feeling right. So I went and saw another doctor, but not this, you know, more of a holistic doctor, more of just a doctor that was close by here. And did a lot of blood work, did a lot of breathing tests, did an ultrasound, did like for my heart and everything. Everything checked out great. I'm a little deficient in some vitamins, but that's about it. There's no cancer, there's no thyroid, there's no adrenal, you know, like anything like that. So it was, everything came back a-okay, which was good, but then at the same time also very kind of like, damn, because I feel like something's just not right. Something's not happening. So go throughout just trying to take more vitamins again, just trying to, you know, stay positive about the situation. But every month I go through a point of about 5 days where I am just low, like low, and I'll explain exactly how low, but this is the reason why I went and saw these doctors in the first place. I was like, I need an answer, I need something, I figure out something going on, because every month I have this period where I'm just not feeling myself.
Now, when you say period, do you mean period or do you mean time?
I mean time.
Okay.
So
and
this
those
is the
5
thing.
days.
Yes.
Those 5 days, are they in correlation with your lady time?
No.
Okay.
So just an FYI for all you mofos thinking. It's not me. But all you mofos that think that, oh, it must be that lady time, must be that time of the month. No, motherfuckers, it's not. This is completely different. And sorry for not being like, oh, it is during that time. So does that make it better because I'm bleeding out of my vagina for 5 days and I feel like it's a homicide scene down there and I'm like literally ready to have my insides gutted out all at one time? So maybe it's twice a month, but there's a total time before that is completely different. So yes, there is a period, meaning a time, during the month that is not revolve around freaking bleeding for 5 days uncontrollably, but a different part. So I was kind of starting to realize that this was happening because I don't like the feeling, and started kind of tracking, started documenting what was going on. So one was the way I was feeling. Okay, so, well, first of all, I knew it was once a month. I was like, how often is this happening? Because sometimes I feel like it's all the time. Other times I felt like it was like, oh, I've been gone for a long time and I haven't felt this way. But I actually started documenting, and it was like once a month. And then it was kind of like, okay, well, when is this during once a month? And I was realizing that it was after ovulation, but before my period. So it was like there's a week in between those two, and that's where it falls in between. So then I was like, oh, interesting. How am I feeling? Well, everything that I am is exactly opposite of how I feel. So I actually wrote down, like, I have insomnia, I have no motivation, I have no appetite, I get headaches, I feel overweight, like I feel actual like I gained weight. I feel like I smell everywhere, especially my lady parts. Sorry. Everything takes a great deal of effort, like literally even to think. Like it's foggy and hazy up in there, and I can't even formulate a very good conversation or a sentence even sometimes. I do massages, and I may even get a massage, or I might have a concert to go to, or I might have something else to do. I cancel all my appointments. I want to be around nobody. So I'm like, sorry, I can't massage you today. I'm either having a migraine, or I'm not feeling well, or I just don't feel like going out today because I am literally still in my PJs. I haven't showered for 5 days, so I'm not gonna go. So I completely like become recluse, which then makes me feel guilty and makes me feel shameful. And like I said, very foggy and tired. I have zero patience for anyone. I have no sex drive. I am irritable, very irritable. I don't want to leave the house, as explained. but then yet I feel trapped. And then everything seems dirty and cluttered, like my house. I can't stand it, but I don't want to leave. But everything irritates the shit out of me. And then I feel helpless. So everything that I do not feel normally, I am completely opposite of this, is how I feel when I'm at my lows. So it was, it's scary. It's terrible. I don't know.
Would you say
they all seem about right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some more than others. Some more than others. But like I think people would listen to this and probably say, that's so many symptoms of depression in there, so many symptoms of depression. But for it to come at particular times every month and consistently at the same time.
Yeah.
So I'm always doing the main thing and trying to think of like how do we fix it?
Mm-hmm.
How do we fix it?
That's the man thing to do.
That's what men do. We're
That's what men
fixers.
do.
We fix shit.
Fix shit. Okay.
Yeah. That's what we attempt to do instead of just being trying to be empathetic and sympathetic in the situation.
Gotcha.
We try to find ways to fix it. But being part of what I do for a living when people have issues, I'm a professional problem solver.
Uh-huh.
That's the way I look at myself. So I try to find what the issue is, what the underlying issue is, and how do we
fix
work
it
towards fixing it.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that it's the same, like you think ovulation, there's a change in hormones, there's a period. Has it got something to do with those hormones, and are they out of whack? Like, are they not kicking in when they're supposed to be, or are they kicking in too much?
I think it's a dramatic shift. There's a change, estrogen, progesterone, change shifts, like, and from when you're ovulating, obviously you're more fertile, which means more estrogen, I believe, more progesterone. I can't remember. I looked it up and I forgot to write it down. I'm sorry, but there is a shift. I can't remember. It's high estrogen during ovulation, and then it's switched, and then all of a sudden, everything goes back. But I'm guessing mine is dropping significantly because I know when I'm ovulating. I can tell when I'm ovulating, especially since I've had an ectopic pregnancy. I have scar tissue still in my fallopian tube, and whenever I'm ovulating, that hurts. It hurts. I actually have pain during ovulation. So, and then there's multiple other reasons how I know I'm ovulating, and some women may know what I'm talking about, but you can tell. So it's kind of interesting to know, like to see like how much I have during ovulation. There's got to be something, because like when I ovulate hard. I mean, I am a hard ovulator. Okay, like I've been pregnant multiple times, and I just think that I am a very fertile person, and I think
Baby
that has
maker.
to do. I think that has to do with, because I'm a good ovulator.
Mm-hmm.
I ovulate very
Born
well.
to make babies.
I'm born to breed, or bred to breed. That's what the doctor said once. So, anyways, that's I think that has a lot to do with it. Actually, I do.
But for the fact that it's just been in the last 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
why wasn't it there before?
It's weird.
That's the thing.
I don't know. I think as I get older, things are changing a lot more. And I don't have any problem with that. But I am having a problem with coping, I think, with what's happening internally that I don't understand. Like, I can't see it. All I know is I feel it, and it sucks. And I don't know, and I've never experienced it before. So I don't know what to freaking think about it. It's kind of like, what is going on with me? I told Michael, I was like, I think I'm losing my mind. I honestly think I'm bipolar, runs in my family. I was like, what if I'm becoming bipolar? Like, what if this is happening to me? Like, what if when I really think I'm okay, I'm really manic, and when I'm down, it's because I'm depressed and I'm fluctuating. But then you think about, okay, well, when you're manic, you're like doing some very manic things.
And that's most of the time when you're manic is when you feel your best.
Yeah.
Because you're in that heightened state.
Mm-hmm. So, maybe I need to get checked out by a mental physician. Who knows?
I was hoping she'd lose her mind. I wish she'd stop thinking. Shit.
There was a lot of shit that happened in the beginning of the year, too. And I think that's probably has a little bit to do with a little bit more of how I was trying to cope with stuff. Just because I know that I was dealing with a family loss, and then a family member needing to be cared for a little bit more than usual. And then, what else happened? God, there was so much, I can't even think now. I literally have kind of just shoved it back. Been like, we've done that. We've gotten past it. Let's move on. So that's what I'm trying to do. But I feel like there was boom, 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 boom. It was just all, and I was like, January's been a long year.
Oh,
It was.
Yeah, because you were sick coming into the new year.
I was sick. Oh
Then
my
your
God,
dad,
yeah.
Then Scotty, and then helping out with your granddad.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
my grandfather too. Yes. See? Yep. So there's just a lot of stuff that was happening, and I think with that, then plus having my lows, and knowing that I needed to be in top peak performance for my family and for what was going on, and then knowing there was these low times and going, I don't have time for this. This cannot happen. I need to be active. I need to be doing something. I need to be, participating in life because I can't. There's too many things that I need going on, and I don't say that all these things are happening, or these periods where I'm in my lows are happening because of everything that happened at the beginning of the year. I just think that it was kind of a little bit more of like I switched gears and said I really need to focus on what's going on, because I'm not able to give what I need to, because there are 5 days, 3 to 5 days out of the month where I'm literally a pile of shit, like literally just.
She smells like it too.
Oh.
Oh.
Terrible.
Sorry. Flies.
I said it.
And stuff.
I smell. I said it. It's extra smell.
So,
But I don't know if it's me that I smell, like if it's just my senses, like if everything changes, like like I smell differently, I see things differently. Obviously, I'm like perceiving everything differently, and maybe I'm smelling differently, physically, or is that me just smelling things differently? Do you think I smell?
Well, I have a terrible sense of smell as is, so I'm gonna say no.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Good answer, hon. Cheers to that one.
Yeah.
So.
There was something I heard in there that really sparked a thought. You said you have nothing else to give, and I think it's one of those. If you're constantly giving, and you're not filling yourself back up, you're not doing things for you, then that could be a huge factor in it.
Yes, I think
if you're not filling yourself up, if you're not taking time for yourself, you're not doing the things that you need to do for you, and you're constantly doing for others, then, which is admirable in one sense, but in another sense, it's hurting
carelessness. Yes, it's not. You need to care for yourself. Absolutely. Well, I always say, happy wife, happy life. Or like when a mom is only the best when she is the best for herself. Like when she's taking care of herself, then she's able to take care of her children and her family the best. Which is very
any situation.
Yes, but I'm just
anybody.
For me.
You can't give what you don't have.
Yes.
So if you're not doing the things to fill yourself up, you're gonna empty really quickly.
Yes, I definitely see
and that could be those 5 days that you rebuild. That's like when you're down and out. That's when you're rebuilding. You're taking time to just do nothing.
Did you not listen to my list?
I know. I'm saying.
I'm like, there's no motivation to
I know,
do
but
anything.
it takes that time to kind of re-energize.
Well, I've kind of found a little something, so that helps. Went and saw a gynecologist because I went out of town with a friend, and when she saw how much my insides fall out during my period, like during my real period, during my menstruation.
Menstruation.
It's my menstrual. The smell of menstruation. But, Anchorman. But, she was like, this is not normal, because I'm like super plus tampon and like a pad, and then having to change that like every hour. My leg swells up. I am miserable, migraines. Like, so like when I said 2 times a month might be accurate, that's because literally I'm going through the lady time. So, she's like, this isn't normal. You should not be feeling this way. You should not be bleeding this much. This is, And I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. And I hadn't seen a gynecologist since like right after I had our 3rd child, which she's 5 now. So it's really careless on my part as well. So it's been almost, I think it's probably been 4 years. So I was like, okay, well, I'll go see a gynecologist then. And I told her exactly everything, and I found out about this thing called PMDD. Now I can't remember what it's called. Post-menstrual dysphoric disorder? Is that right?
Something like that.
Yes. Oh man, I did not prepare enough for this podcast. I'm sorry. But PMDD, we were supposed to do this like weeks ago. So PMDD is pretty much exactly what I explained for myself, and I believe that may be something. And when I went to the gynecologist, I brought it up to her, but she didn't seem to really like agree or disagree with me. She just said, "I think you need to be on birth control," and I was like, "You're like 3 kids too late, lady." I was like, "But my husband has a vasectomy. I'm not supposed to have to do this anymore." But because birth control has a steady like the pill is estrogen, and has your whole month is literally like you're pregnant, so you're even keeled the whole month until you have your period. Then those 5 days are off and you have your period, and then you get back on. So this pill has a hormonal regulation for the whole 28 days pretty much. And so I was like, okay, that sounds good, but what about my age? Because I've also heard that is an issue. Nothing to go there. She was like, but I have bad veins, which, I don't know about, if you know, but birth control can cause blood clots. Can't talk.
Words and stuff.
Blood clots. And I have varicose veins. I have very bad veins. I have a deep backflow in my right deep vein. So I had to go see a doctor about it and stuff like that. And I had a blood clot behind my knee when I was pregnant with Porig, our second child. So I was like, I just keep adding it on. So she checked. Yeah. She went ahead and checked that out. Everything turned out fine. She was like, you don't have, deep vein thrombosis, so you're good. So I'm okay to take it. But her other options were either an ablation, which is literally like they take something and they just like pretty much burn my uterus, I believe, the inside of my uterus, and it just kind of like makes it so that I don't have anything really happen. But it wouldn't help with my feelings, I guess. And it wouldn't really help, I don't think, with the pain for my ovulation. Then it was Prozac. You can get on Prozac. And I was like, whoa. Like, I didn't really expect her to say Prozac, to be honest. And I was like, and she's like, but that won't help with your bleeding. That won't help with your pain during ovulation. I'm like, okay. So then the birth control came up, and she was like, that's going to kill 3 birds with 1 stone. Because there's more than 2 this time. So you have pain for ovulation, you have your period, and you have your hormone shift, your low time. So I've been on birth control now for a couple months, and I have to say that I think I've been pretty even keel.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I would say.
Yeah?
Yeah, there's definitely been. It's definitely been a little bit more stable. It hasn't been the roller coaster.
Right.
So it's definitely been better.
Yeah.
But we'll see where it goes.
Yes. Because I also have friends telling me, get your, thyroid checked. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure that when I did that blood panel, that it was all.
Everything was in order.
Yeah, I think that was all taken care of in that. And then I also saw like an article about adrenal, fatigue and all that. So I was like, but I think that was all checked then as well. So I've been, like I said, I've been on birth control for a couple months, and I feel pretty good. But yeah, I hope shit doesn't hit the fan.
Not the only one.
But that's kind of like what I've been going through, and I just feel like there's got to be other people out there that are dealing with the same situation. I mean, the feelings that you get are just terrible. I mean, no mother or person in general wants to feel shame and guilt because they're a hot fucking mess. Because they can't get out of bed, they can't change their clothes, they can't take a shower, they can't even like function. Like, you just literally on your phone going like this all day because you literally are not capable of even dealing with anything. So, yeah. Figured I'd come out and just say, you know what, this is what's going on. This is what's happening. It's been happening for a while now, and hopefully it can help somebody, or somebody else can help me. Who knows?
I always instinctively go to, like, well, what's the consistency as it relates to every other portion of your life? Like, how's sleep? How's nutrition? How's exercise?
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you doing the things that your body needs in order for hormone regulation? And those are, for me, those would always be the first things to go to.
Mm-hmm. Probably not.
No, but those,
Probably not.
Those are the first things. So
Mm-hmm.
it's, for me, anytime there's any issues like that, it's an elimination process of elimination. All I'm doing this. Let me try this and see if that has a difference. Okay, now that I'm doing this consistently, let me add this on, and then let me add this. Instead of let's do some pills right away.
But so the thing that is different for me though is that it is a hormonal thing. So there are things you have to do to like regulate your hormones, which I don't know anything about, first of all. Second of all, sometimes those hormonal or chemical imbalances cannot be regulated by food or yoga or just self-care. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree or disagree?
I can't say I can do either one.
Oh. Why?
Who's to say that the hormones can't be regulated?
I'm just saying sometimes there's, okay, so take somebody who's bipolar, for instance. That is a legit chemical imbalance.
Yeah.
So something like food may help, but it's not going to cure it. So for me, who has not had this imbalance all of my life, and then now feel like, and it's not even proven, like I don't even know if this is, we never tested to see if I have a significant drop or fluctuation in my hormones. It was literally the doctor just saying, you know, like, let's try birth control.
Mm-hmm.
And
or if the whole point of the birth control is hormone regulation and
exactly.
to reduce the pain and so on.
Right. How do I, okay, here's my next question. Well, to stay on hormones just a little bit more. Something I didn't grow up having, but all of a sudden now have. And I'm not saying that I'm any healthier or I'm any less healthy than I was when I was growing up. Probably less active, but I haven't been very active for a while now. And this is something that is kind of new. So
is that
how does that...
Like, people just don't all of a sudden become type 2 diabetic. It's an accumulation of bad habits that come back and bite you in the ass. Same with cancer. Cancer is an accumulation of habits most of the time that end up activating a certain gene that cause the cancer. So I'm not saying that's what the answer is. That's what the issue is, but it's a possibility.
Good
it could
point.
be an accumulation of not the best habits.
Interesting point. The other thing is, what do I do about my heavy blood flow? Like me literally, like, how am I not dead?
Yeah, this is a good
during
question.
a period? Because right there, like, you know, now that's something that I've dealt with probably all of my life. That was not just something new. But the only thing that's really going to help that is going to be either a surgical procedure, or an ablation, or birth control, which is already proven to help significantly with that aspect.
I don't feel like it was as bad. Well, not that I knew you for too long before you got
having
pregnant,
kids.
But like you look at the issues, the uterine issues that you had after you had surgery. Your uterus had to be massaged back into place, basically.
Yeah.
And then with Orla, you had the
HELLP syndrome.
The HELLP syndrome.
But see, the HELLP syndrome has to do with liver.
But that's, again, that comes down to high liver enzymes, which is going to be a hormonal issue. It's the hormonal issues that cause that. And it was like they had to pump you full of magnesium in order to bring that back to normal. So, I don't know. It can be, I don't know if it's something to do with the fact that you had issues with having the babies.
Yeah, maybe.
That's the thing. There's so many things that have happened over time that there's no real way to tell. For me, just the answer isn't always just run straight to pills.
Yeah.
No,
I get
it.
it.
If it's working, it's working.
Well,
it's
this
not
is the
causing
thing,
any
though.
other issues, not causing any other side effects. Then
I feel like the
go.
pills are going to help me, though, be better for myself.
Yeah.
So because I know that I'm on the verge of having my low, or, you know, like trying to come back from a low, saying, oh, I think I'm back on my up. You know, I'm coming back up now. Because that's a saying, and that's literally something I would say. I'm like, I'm coming back up. You'd be like, oh, that's great. You know, like,
I haven't been down there in ages anyway. Oh, sorry. We're still talking about more.
Whoa! So, lost my train of thought now. Having the birth control already be something that has regulated my mood, at least, has allowed me to actually be more productive for myself, which I'm sure you've noticed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading more, like helpful books, not just
Yeah.
reading, not
Not
just
reading
reading.
people's posts on
Yes.
Facebook.
No, I'm reading more things that will, benefit me as a person, and my mindset, because my mind goes crazy. I feel like I'm mental a lot of times. I have a lot of shit going through there, and it's hard to slow it down. And I feel like I wasn't present. I was not present.
I concur, Doctor.
Yes.
I concur.
Not been very present. So these are all things that are helping me. Meditating and trying to do a little bit more exercise. Just things that I enjoy, though, because I'm not big into exercise, even though my husband's a personal trainer. And just better for my kids in general. So I've stopped reading a parenting book because I really think it fucked me up. Really think it fucks me up. I was like, I'm doing everything wrong. Oh my God, our children are gonna be terrible. The whole world is doomed. Like, that's literally how I felt. And I took a step back from that. I think I just started.
It's a really good book.
It is a really good book. I think I just read it at the wrong time. I think I was very stressed out already. And I was like, this just totally racked my brain. Big time. Like, took me for a loop. It's, what is it called? How to Hold On to Your Children?
Yeah. Why your
Yes. How
why
to
your
hold on to your
parents should
children.
be more important than your peers.
Mm-hmm.
Or why, yeah, something along those lines. The Gabor Mate book about parenting and why your children should be more attached to you as a parent than your peers.
Right. And then, like trying to assess my relationship with my daughter, because it's mainly about, me worrying about my oldest, because she's the oldest and she's in middle school, and I'm worried about, these things, like losing your child to, I just know how I was, and I did not want to be around my family. And that's not something that I want for my family. And so the book really tore me apart big time. I was like, well, she does tell me this, but oh my God, she's already doing this. And well, that's good. She's doing that. But then, oh my God, she's doing that too. And I'm like freaking out. I'm like, well, she does have that with Michael, but not with me. And like just replaying everything, and then start thinking about the other two. And you're just like, how can I set this up differently? And I have control issues, obviously. So I was like, I need to control the situation.
Uh-huh.
Which, having myself, trying to take care of myself is allowing me to step back from the anxiety and the control. Because after Michael became sober, in one of our episodes I had talked about, after Michael was talking about his year of sobriety, was learning that my anxiety had been displaced, because I had so much anxiety dealing with his alcoholism that's where my anxiety was. But when he became sober, I was able to finally release that anxiety about, like, he's finally going to come home and not be wasted, or I'm not going to have to worry where he is or anything. But it's very sneaky anxiety and it moved on to my older child as well as my control. So I was like worried about her and worried about the way she thinks and the way she does things, and I was like, I just want her to do that. I just want her to think this. And the therapist is like, you can't control how somebody thinks. You can't control how somebody acts. So you need to let go of that. And then I was like, yes, I have some serious control issues. Got it. So
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And the anxiety as well was just placed on what was happening with her and my other kids. So it's something that is definitely, I'm sure it all just kind of, like you said, it could be just like an accumulation of things that have just balled itself up right inside of me.
Because there are things, like, there are instances over the course of every day that pass through us, and there's no issues. I think in Sanskrit it's called samsaras. They're basically impressions that are left in us. So there's some that just regular, you're driving down the road and there's a tree, and you see the tree, you notice it, you let it go, and it's done. But there are certain things that when they hit us, we hold on to them and we don't let them go.
Yeah.
And it becomes an issue. It's trapped energy that's in us. It's trapped negative energy that we haven't let go of, and it's that trapped negative energy then that causes other issues within the body, which could Like that. These are things that aren't studied in the West yet, with regard to that trapped energy, how that transfers to
Right.
our hormonal balances, and how that can affect chemical imbalances
Are
in
you
the brain
talking
and
about
so on.
the emotional freedom type thing? The you know what I'm talking about?
EFT.
Yeah. Well, not that's. But what does EFT stand for? Right.
It's emotional freedom technique.
Technique.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's tapping on
Tapping.
meridians and so on.
Right, but there's also things that you can do therapeutically. I think more like therapy-wise that are that is energy that is blocked, that needs to be freed. And I know that sounds like some hippy-dippy shit, people. I get it, but we're energy in itself. So knowing that we're a ball of, and we're literally energy. It's gonna get. I mean, there's gotta be ways that it's trapped. Many times that it's gonna be trapped, and there's ways of freeing that and making sure that you're not. It's literally where physical pain can come from.
And that's part of, like, meditation can kick in. Like, you can use meditation to find out where some of these issues are coming from. To be able to recognize a feeling or an emotion, and then be able to sit in that emotion, notice it, recognize it, feel it, and then you can start to understand, okay, where is this coming from?
Right.
And when you start to figure out then where it's coming from, then that's when you can release it if you so choose. But it is it's like a mental process to begin with, but it ends up being a spiritual process in the end of it.
Right. I think a lot of it too is I'm trying to release a lot of things that are outside of me. So obviously I go through these big like purging moments where I'm just like, everything in the house needs to go. We're getting rid of it all. And I have this, you know, like,
we don't need a couch anymore.
I literally did that. I literally got rid of our our furniture, and we sat on cushions on the floor, which was totally fine. That's fine.
No
Hey, guess who's here? Come on in. Come here. No? Kid number 3 over here. Yes.
You don't want to come hang out?
You don't want to come in? Say hi? Well, anyways. I'm trying to release those things that are physically not important, like that are just going to be, it's just things. And they're blocking the view of what I really want for myself, and which is to, you know, be free and just to live life without having to worry and to feel stress, and just with love and kindness, and be able to, you know, just, you know, travel the country and meet people and not be so stressed about what I'm wearing or what I'm driving or where I live or how much money I have. Sorry, am I banging too much? I'm very passionate about it.
No, she's Italian. She doesn't know. She doesn't even realize she's doing it.
So.
But that's it's attachment. Like the Buddhists talk about the 3 main causes of suffering are attachment, resistance, and judgment. If we can release those things and let them go on a moment by moment basis, we can actually experience life in a moment by moment basis and be genuinely happy.
Exactly.
And not worrying about the future or the past. We can live presently.
I have a child tapping me on the head and pulling on me. Why don't you come in here and say hi if you're going to be just coming in here in the show?
Come sit with us and tell us what
This
you
is
think.
our little of this, little of that. Come here. She's clean too. She took a bath.
This one climbed up a rope today, a 20-foot rope, and rang a bell.
Tell everybody your name. What's your name? You want to say it now?
Baby Cakes.
Baby Kate's little dumpling, kid number 3, right here, Curly Q. She's going to be a superstar gymnast.
She will.
Okay. So, anyways, we'll touch more on it, I guess, in a little bit, because I think we need to, I need to keep going. This is only month 2. I really just wanted to, you know, talk about the situation that I've been dealing with and just putting it out there and trying to understand it and let other people know that they're not alone, because the amount of support that I got from that post from Facebook and Instagram was tremendous, and it was powerful, and I didn't feel alone anymore, because that was something I definitely felt when I was in my lows, was like, I'm the only one that feels this way, and I'm the only one that's dealing with this, and no one can help me, and there's nothing else there's everybody else is doing perfectly fine, and I'm sitting here, and I'm like, why can't I just be grateful and thankful for everything I have right here in front of me? Like all of the things that I have. And to find out that I wasn't the only one thinking those things was just mind blowing. I was kind of like, wow, it's powerful stuff.
And
so
I brought up the analogy of a pendulum, and that when we're having these rough times of where things are horrible, that nothing's going well, your soccer team isn't playing well, and but no, just general things in life. You don't feel good about yourself. You're irritable. All the things that Colleen just mentioned. That's all the way up here on the pendulum.
Yeah.
Like it's at 70, 80 degrees, and then when the pendulum swings to the other side, that energy from this end will actually create its equal on the opposite end, and it'll just keep going back and forth like that. That's where we are when we're at extremes. Is just how energy works, and it's the same when it happens within us. When we're low, but then when we're high, we're high. And I used to have those same situations, especially when I was drinking. And there's certain things that I've done that have anchored me. I guess that's a good way of putting it, because now I've anchored down the pendulum to where now it's a steady little shake in between at the bottom of the swing. It's not going way up and way down anymore. It's just I'm passing through that sweet spot all the time versus being stuck in one place or the other. So it's that pendulum. How do we stop it from swinging back and forth?
Yeah.
And what I've done, I found anchors, and those anchors are just things that I do on a daily basis. That if I don't do them, then that's when it starts to stray and starts to swing a little bit outside that sweet spot, that balance zone. So it's like the simple things of like doing my cold showers and prayer and meditation and journaling and breath work, exercise, going to my 12-step meetings. Just there's all these different things that I do over the course of a day to make sure that I stay balanced. And
Yeah.
if I don't have that consistency and I don't have that, and this could be, I guess some people would say, well, that's an extreme in and of itself. But it's what keeps me balanced. It's what works for me to keep me away from the madness on either side. And even when I do hit those extremes, I'm able to come back to the center really quickly because I can recognize it, because I can see it as it's happening and go, oh, what have I not done? Have I not? And even if I've done all those things, like, okay, maybe I need to talk to somebody, and I'll call a friend, or I'll talk to you, or whatever it might be. But I have a system in place that I can quickly recognize the shifts and be able to bring it back to center really quickly.
That took you a lot of practice, and it took a long time.
And it takes work.
Yes.
It takes a lot of work even now, but it's
Yeah.
well worth doing the work on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
Rather than being on the crazy path.
Yes. So that's kind of like where I'm at in my journey, is I'm in the beginning. And fortunately, there's nothing wrong with, Western medicine, and, there's nothing wrong with, trying to go a holistic way. But, for me, it was, starting off with birth control, which has already helped me kind of stay a bit stable. And now I'm dealing with, so I'm learning to take more time for myself, really focusing more on what's going on with me. But, maybe on another episode, I can talk about, because I'm just all sorts of jacked up, yes. But how I have a problem with taking care of myself enough. So when Michael does a lot of things for himself, whether it's, taking time to go to meetings, or even getting out for a round of golf, or, he goes to therapy, and he goes and he, does multiple things like for himself. And for me, that I have a really hard time. I struggle with taking time for myself or taking time with my family. And of course, my family always is going to be, that's where it is. But it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't have to be, saying, well, I would prefer to stay home and be with my family instead of go and get a massage, or go and talk to somebody, or go and meditate or something. Like, it's very hard for me to leave and then it also brings resentment and makes me feel selfish. It makes me feel like he's selfish sometimes, which he's not. It's just the way that I feel at those times, and it's something that I'm struggling with and having to deal with as well. So
that's a huge thing for like being in the personal training business. Like women have a serious issue with taking care of themselves.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't, not more so mothers than women.
Yeah.
It's women have that. There's a certain amount of guilt that like I shouldn't be taking time for myself, which is horrible because you need it. You need it more than we do.
And I think women will agree that men are definitely have an easier, like they decide very much easier than us than women do. They are just like, yep, I'm gonna go do that. That's what I'm gonna do, and yep, no problem. And we're just like, oh, okay. Like, and for us, it's so much harder to be like, well, I don't know what it is. And that's something I'm trying to figure out too. So maybe we can talk about that in another segment. Is just how women have a hard time, taking a step back and saying, well, it's either family or it's me, or it's work or it's me, or it's
be a balance.
Yes. Why is there nothing there to go in between? And that's also something that I'm working on.
Yep.
Because I would like to take more time for myself, but I have to get over the whole, issue of why do I feel selfish when I do that. And it's okay to be selfish in those instances. Selfish is not a bad word. And I think I associate selfishness with a bad word. There's fly swatters coming in at my face.
I have the instinct to defend myself here, but I'm not even going to.
Yeah. Get those off my face. My child just put fly swatters on my face. No. Not okay.
But the
bug juice.
I think with little baby cakes over here starting kindergarten in August, that will make life a little easier as it relates to taking time for yourself. So
yeah, it could absolutely.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'll have that in place before even. So
more opportunities on the horizon.
Yeah. So yeah, that's that.
We'll
touch base more later about how it's going. I guess if I'm still really jacked up and figuring it out, or if I'm
Jesus, I hope not.
Or if it's actually helping, and then maybe I can tell you what I'm doing. That can be helpful. I already know that reading, and about just trying to like purge outside things and just focusing with what's going on inside of me and just meditating and breathing have helped tremendously already. So I do know that, and just remembering to be say you're grateful, I remind myself, like, I am grateful for, waking up. I am grateful for being alive. I'm grateful for breathing. And then going down the list. And those really do help. Yay, you're clapping? Yay. So, yeah.
The key is going to be consistency. Like I heard the old SLU basketball head coach said, the key to training is consistency. And the key to life is priorities. Figure it out. And that's really what it comes down to. Like when you figure out what your priorities are, if you relate this to life in general, you figure out what your priorities are.
Yeah. Then
you can set the things that you need to do, and then it's just a matter of being consistent with those things in order for it to be sustainable and for it to work. Because if we don't stay consistent with it, then it's so easy to fall back into our old habits. So.
Yeah, I struggle with that as well.
Consistency is key.
We'll see how it goes.
Yes, we will. I'm excited.
Thank you so much for listening.
Always good.
Yes, to what we have to say, whether you like it or not.
And if you have things that you would like to share, if there's something that resonated with you, or if you think we're full of shit, let us know, because we want to make sure that we're doing some sort of service here.
Yes.
We don't want to be just yapping away for no reason.
Yeah, you can find us at lotlotpod@gmail.com, or you can send us a recording on the Anchor app. And a little bit once to say goodbye. And you can message us on there or send us a recording, like I said. And thank you.
If there's a topic that you want to talk about and you maybe want to join us, let us know.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we'd be more than happy.
All right, guys. Till next time. We don't know when we'll be back, but we will be.
Peace and love.
Peace, love. Love you guys. Thanks again.